That wouldn't have worked back in the day.
That's Adrian Gorse,
Yeah.
the crew chief.
Which you spent some time with as well, so.
Both our crew chiefs, great guy, but yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
Yes, I can think of...
But it took you by the ear, after the first. I did it 7 laps in Valencia first test, so I watered one up into a ball, brand new bike. I didn't get that good of looks when I got back to the pit.
Let me guess, it was your fault.
That one, yeah, we'll say that was.
We'll go with that one. Scott Redding in his pit.
That's the other thing here, seeing at the Grand Prix now, like Davido there and the Suzuki team, a lot of superbike guys in the paddock, It seems the factory days of superbikes, all those guys are actually converted over to Moto GP.
Well, back then, that's when there was money. Yep. Plenty of money.
I'm smiling.
And you...
A lot of supercross or superbike guys and a lot of ex-motocross guys. Tons of them around this paddock.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. They found a job somehow.
Here's Alex Rins, injured pre-season, injured during the season, came back and had an 11th in Granoda's 16th last time out in Austria. But
he's full fit now, right?
Just about.
Okay.
Yes, just about. The team, he had a nasty oddity.
And so what's the story here from last year to this year? Last year on the pace, this year really not seeing it, are we?
And the difference is Maverick Vinales. I think we have Casey Stoner Ducati syndrome, whereas the factory sort of thought, oh, this bike's really, who was having a year of hell and never could ever feel the front end and spent a lot of time throwing at the scenery. Take Maverick Vinales out, send him to Yamaha, and the bike isn't quite what we thought it.
Good point.
I think Casey Stoner Ducati is always the...
and that's a whole, turn 3 at Phillip Island, Stoner Corner and things like that. I mean, they just had the electronics perfect for Casey. You go through there with the throttle wide open and the rear wheels.
He was talking about, as we look at, here we go.
This is Alex Rins, the black helmet, the black boots, the black gloves, dedicated to his city of Barcelona.
And Casey said, with that Ducati, he said, as long as I could get it on the rear wheel, I was good. So every corner, that's how he tried to set the thing up, because as long as I could get it on the rear, I was fine. I could go fast. Because if I ever had to rely on the front, I was screwed.
Yeah, everybody else just lost the front, didn't they? Everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There's some spoilers happening.
Here is yes, Lorenzo is using
hamster cheek.
Yep. I think that's by far the best description. He's down in 19th, so 1.8 off at the moment, Jorge. Oops, that's Sam on the floor.
Oh, no.
You see that, though. I've seen that more and more. He lifts his arms. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. He was on personal best lap through the first 2, and that was in the 3rd sector.
Yeah. I've seen that a lot this year, though. Not to take anything away from him. Obviously, he's out there trying, but anytime you see a rider, lift their hands, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. It's a worry.
It's a worry, yeah.
So that's sector 3. Just down to Abbey.
This is a lot. Yeah. And it could, we've had a lot of guys crash here, cold tire, left side. You don't really get the left side of that tire heated up to 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, the last left is turn 8 at the end of Vale, the left-right chicane. So that had the look to me as a non-racer of a cold tire.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I hesitate to offer an opinion with you two gents that design. I'm terrified. As poor old Sam hits the deck.
I'm
the
sure
limp was there beforehand, by the way.
I'm sure we'll correct you there, Julian.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I'm not sensitive, as I'm sure you know. That is Albacena.
And that corner right there took out Cal Crutchlow, I believe, in 2011, his first year here. It's, that corner's notorious for millions of dollars of equipment being thrown down the road.
You say it's a long time, really, since a serious bit of left-hand work on this long track. It's not cold here, but it's a fast lap, and literally the airstream past your tyre's going to cool it.
Exactly.
The Cal Crutchlow's just been done for exceeding the track limits. At turn 6, Chapel, the left-hander on the long straight.
Looking at what we would maybe consider some underperformers at the moment. Folger down in 21st. I don't know what he's got going on, but we're accustomed to seeing him a little higher up in the charts.
He's got a newer chassis, I believe, at Austria.
Hopefully they didn't give him the one they're running this year. The factory guys said, no, give him the other one back.
Yeah, get the old one back. Here's Carol Abraham. He has confirmed he is staying with Aspar next year. And you have to say, with a couple of solid top tens in the front row start, we thought, lots of people worried when he came back, oh, he's bought it, he's got money. But the bloke has put in a really solid year on the oldest motorbike on the grid.
I think fitness, the only thing he could work on, obviously, he's proven he's got a little bit of speed, but just needs some fitness to stay there, the whole race long.
There is Aspar himself on the right, 5 times, 4 times world champion, 5 times Spanish champion, the heir to Angel Nieto in Spanish racing.
You know Angel Nieto, Aaron?
No.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Great dude. Always had a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And as Lamarca said in his obituary, the inventor of Spanish motorcycle.
Same as Kenny Sr. in the US. Same
analogous.
Kind of,
Yeah.
Although Kenny isn't on first name terms with the king, like Angel was in Spain.
True.
That would be you don't have a king. I think.
He might know Donald Trump.
I won't even get...
Moving swiftly on. What are we down to, Cole? 2030. So, fastest lap, as I said earlier last year, that was Maverick,
You say
wasn't it?
2026 or something?
2023.
3.
On his way to the win, Suzuki's first in this iteration of their motorcycle.
Yeah, we're only 10 laps in, so...
Respectable.
Yeah, getting down there.
Good.
Well, the only question about this track is the bumps, I believe.
It's a really good day, though, isn't it? Like, the weather is perfect. Here we just don't get this in the morning and the afternoon, so, a good start to the day.
Definitely. Top, Honda's first and second. Rossi third on a Yam. Then the Honda of Pedrosa and the Yamahas of Vinales and Zarco.
Yeah, same story as Austria. 3 Hondas in the top 5, and they're supposed to be struggling and having so many problems.
Yes. But the thing about Austria, looking back on it when I was writing it up, Ducati still had the superiority at Austria compared to Yamaha. It was almost the same as last year. But Honda had moved right across that gap.
Yes.
And what a weird situation with the tyres back there, though. Like, when you use softs and hards and everybody's on something different, and winning with the soft and having that confidence actually to take the race to a guy with a harder tyre was the big thing.
And Dovi qualified on a medium and raced on a soft.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Matt Oxley in Motorsport this week has written an extremely interesting column on tyre management software that Ducati use and have the exclusive rights to. It models tyre wear, and it's an extremely, and this looks like they've got a clever, not so secret weapon. Well, it is secret because they own the rights to it. They've an Italian company with the tyre companies, and they measure stress on the tyre, blah 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 blah, and they can tell you, and then you can feed in chassis setup, what loads you're going to put on, what's sort of slip angles and what have you, and from that you can judge what tyre to use.
So you're telling me Honda, Yamaha, these guys don't have it?
I'm telling you they haven't got as good.
Okay, got you. Well, no, I'm taking your word for it, but yeah, that's something to have in your back pocket if you got all that info.
And it's the only way I can explain Austria with that tyre choice you say and the way it worked. And Dovi was sort of dropping clues afterwards about we understand each compound, not just each type of tyre, but an asymmetric tyre has obviously more than one compound in it, and Dovi was saying it's down to that detail, each compound.
The only problem there is I think that sometimes soft, medium, hard. That's how they're named, but it just what suits the bike. You can call it what you want to call it, but at the end of the day, it's what suits it. And that's probably in Colin and my day we were against the V twins. The tyre combinations were so different, a soft could work. Look at the bumps there.
Oh,
he's lost the front.
How many times?
Oh. I think he took a few stabs at trying to crash it here.
Yeah.
There's
1, 2.
That's at least 1.5 there. More like 2. And that's routine, isn't it? This is the thing that we cannot emphasise enough. I've got two world-class motorcycle riders sat next to me, and even they go quiet and jaws drop when they watch Marc Marquez ride.
Yeah, all in a day's work for Marquez.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? Just, yeah, lose the front, lose the front.
Yeah. That,
and Carl's closed it up there to just over a tenth now, so must be putting in some good laps.
yeah, went well here last year, second last year, pole here last year, so home fans will be looking forward.
And he's all that worry, you know, from a good result last year. And sometimes it's just how the bike rolls out of the truck. You know, sometimes it comes out good and sometimes it's not so
And
good.
that really seems to be the case now, because nobody knows what these tyres are going to do. You roll out, you haven't got a base setting.
We got our first 202.
Maverick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be in that tyre sweet spot, obviously, but you don't know whether your base setting is going to be anywhere near.
Exactly.
Aaron hit the nail on the head. I mean, sometimes you
That with a Honda Triple years ago, when his teammate.
Getting a little spin going on.
Love these pictures. This is what Aaron was talking about earlier, just the luxury of having pictures like this.
And yeah, Colin and I would come into the pits and say, did you see that? And nobody saw anything. You know, it's just, the quality is so good.
Absolutely. And bit off to our World Feed suppliers, the Dorna camera crews, who really do a cracking job.
Awesome. Now's on another one right here.
This is a good way to start the weekend for Cal, isn't it?
Very
It has
good.
that feeling that, it's almost that old school, it's out the truck and it feels right.
No, for
Never mind
sure.
those computers, never mind that car analysis. This motorbike is working.
I know where I'm going and I've got a plan and I'm setting about it.
And it's looking good in the livery as well. This is a cracking lap. What's the best so far? 2:02.9 from Maverick.
That's the best.
Whoa, 2:02.7 from Mr. Crutchlow.
Hey, they're only 12 laps in. They're 4/10 off the best lap of last year. Pretty solid.
What's he waving to?
I think it was saying wrap it up, throw the checkered up in front.
I'm done.
11 minutes to go, Cal, I'm afraid. Lap cancel, that's why it's not for Cal, it's for Petrucci. And a little start then when I saw the yellow indicator flick up.
Maverick's putting in some few laps consistency right here.
This looks like a really good run from Maverick, doesn't it? In fact, looking at the screen, Colin, everybody's done 10, 11, 12 laps. This looks like, I don't think many people have been in to play with the bike, to change wheels. This looks like...
When was the last time we saw a Maverick running at the sharp end, running lap after lap after lap? He's always been 2, 3, 4/10 off here the last few races.
And he has been in and waving his arms at Monfocado and looking a bit stressy.
So good start for Yamaha at the moment.
There's a nice shot of the Ducati fairing, but Dobby's so he has one of each. Dobby's out with the hamster cheeks, so we assume, I think, Colin, that one bike with, one bike without.
And I would think, if you got that in your bag, you're going to have to do a run on each. See what's more comfortable, see what's going over the bumps better. We know the bumps here can be bad in a couple places. See which one's more comfortable, which one rolls off the truck better.
So if it's called hamster cheeks at the front, what do they call that thing at the back?
I hesitate to think. And it's before 9 o'clock in the UK, so we'll...
It's not watershed time yet.
Not quite. Nice shot of the carbon brakes there. You get a view of the... They're not really... It doesn't look like carbon fibre. You should call them carbon. It's little shreds of carbon fibre in a carbon, almost a soot matrix that are baked and under high pressure.
Daniela's lost a little time on that right hand, little hairpin, got him a little wide.
But that tyre's got to be getting old now, so...
Yeah, 12 laps or so in. Maverick again on Crutchlow's team fractionally, just 1,000th in it.
Coming in.
So
didn't want that one.
Yeah, he made a little mistake, and I think, you got 8 minutes left. It's a 2-minute lap time. If you're going to make a change, right now is the time to do it if you want to get a few laps in.
Just looking down the order, Bautista 11th, Baz 13th is a bit impressive. Petrucci and Redding down to 16th and 17th. Isn't a wonderful start. They're 1.5 seconds off at the moment.
The tyre looks like a bit of wear there.
Just what you'd expect to see after 13 laps?
Yeah, for sure.
Sam back on, looks like number 2 bike.
And he's did a personal best last time out, but he's doing 2:06, so he's 3 seconds off the pace of Crutchlow at the moment. It just somehow doesn't look comfortable. Aprilia seems to be just not riding the bumps like the others done. We've seen others deviating, but that thing appears to be skimming across the bumps like a...
Isn't it notorious though for Aprilia? I mean, Colin probably know, but their bikes always seem so hard. The chassis are so stiff, and it just, if it's not working, it's not working. You know,
that's old 250 boys for
yeah,
you, I
and
suppose.
that's just asking a lot from the tyre and the suspension.
And Jules, you'll know this. Gavin's in my ear saying they're running a different fairing, or they haven't been running this all year.
Well, Sam has the standard fairing here, where he's been running the hamster cheek version all year, because he preferred it. I thought he was mandated to use it, but apparently not. He said it felt safer.
Gotcha.
So he's abandoned what must be a higher drag fairing for very much the Alacia Spargaro version.
That might be a cause for the crash. No front push.
Oh, Jorge's got a lap going on. He has been in and out of the pits 2 or 3 times. He's the one that did think it worthwhile to come in and have a moan about the chatter and other things.
Well, it looks like he's found something.
Yeah. He appears to be the man who... Does he have hamster cheeks on both bikes, by the look of it? Dovi had this fairing on both bikes for Austria, right from the start, as we said. If it's anti-wheelie, then obviously Austria is a place that it's going to be used.
See if he can hold it together here.
Good lap.
Looking like a good lap.
It is.
Here we go.
By a tenth and a bit, Lorenzo improves on Crutchlow's time. 2:02.649.
Yes, I don't know if that's good or bad actually with a soft rear to do that after running, and when he's running, they maybe get on the different compound because it might suit something else.
Yep, indeed. Gigi Dall'Igna looks like he always does. Totally unreadable. I love Gigi. He's wonderful. When he talks to me, he says, "Of course we said this," but sometimes we don't tell the truth.
Yeah, sometimes.
He's again, Matt Oxley, the historian of the English Journalist, said it's a great interview, Gigi, till you play the tape back and transcribe it, and you realise you've actually learnt exactly nothing. You think you have. You think you've got a really good feature to write, but no.
Let's break this down real quick. Obviously, different riders go quick at different tracks. Has he ever had a decent result around this place?
Give me a minute.
We know Rossi goes good here. We know Vinales goes good here. Marquez, he goes good everywhere. Come on.
Yep.
Just trying to think who on the grid is, say this is one of their favorite tracks.
Well, I think Maverick.
Well, the old soft rear didn't like the second lap.
I think you're onto something. Maybe was that a rehearsal for qualifying then? So we know it's only going to do one. But it's a long old lap round here, isn't it? It's 3.66 miles, 5.9 kilometres, and it's quick. And it's going to be surely hard on tyres, Colin.
Yeah, anytime you have this high speed and this right, I mean, all the right-hand corners around here really destroy the rear tire. So it's not too friendly on the right side of the rear for sure.
Again, just looking down the order.
I'm looking at the screen. Marquez just popped one in, a 2:02.8, up into third.
Alex Rins up into 12th, well in front of his teammate Iannone. Now, again, Alex is, he's badly injured pre-season, badly injured again this season. But when we saw him in Austria, he really looked like, and it was the old Alex Rins. It was not quite the Moto 2 Rins, but it was beautifully smooth, almost classic style. He looked at home. You forget what a weapon he was in Moto 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a look at Folger here down in 16th. Very unaccustomed to seeing him down there. But at the same time, might be just out running laps on one tire and saving the rest for later.
Yeah, so it looks like Tech 3's struggling a bit there, isn't it?
Hello, it's Petrucci parking the bike. That's got to be a mechanical. That way. It's a long way back.
And he finished second here on the podium a couple years ago.
In the wet,
So
yes, that first. This way?
This way.
Well, you need to pass.
No, that's Phillip Island.
Yeah.
A few slightly startled looks in the Pramac pit. That's obviously a... it has stopped on him. Here is Johan Zarco. Where is he at the moment? Midfield, 9th. 0.8 off Lorenzo's time. And going well with a medium on the back and a soft on the front. Johan appears to be able to use, if anybody can use the soft tyres, it's Johan.
And isn't it funny how one of the teams up there and one's at the bottom? It's just every weekend. They just alternate the race weekends, don't they? 2
rookies. There's of Johan sitting on the grid at Le Mans listening to the Marseillaise. And the Le Mans crowd belt that out. They give it some feeling.
Yeah, and if somebody would have bet on that at the beginning of the year, that Zarco would have got on the podium with his home race, Folger and you would have made a fortune.
Absolutely, and Folger really pushed Marc Marquez right until the last couple of laps. It was only because he made a mistake at turn 1, lost him, and then cooked the tyre getting back up to him, that he wasn't in the position. I say only, but you know, it's
very impressive race from him.
Really impressive. Zarco, who concentrates all his training, all his thinking is smooth.
He's putting in a good one here.
Certainly is. This could very well put him quicker than Marquez for 3rd.
That's a bit of a turn of events, giving Marco's a bit of giving Mark a bit of a slipstream down the back.
Yes.
There should be a contrast in style to enjoy here. And there's some fast laps going in as we approach the checkered flag for the end of first free practice. What's Zarco going to do? Is he going to move?
Ooh, Vinales.
Whoa.
He's on a good one.
He's soft in the rear.
He's got the soft on, yeah.
No lap time cancelled.
So based on what we've seen here so far, I'm going to take a stab at it. There's not going to be any soft tires in the race. Just going to make a guess. It looks like it's got way too much grip.
Yeah, and we look like, as we saw with Lorenzo, 1 lap and it's done, seems to be.
You sure you don't want that machine that Jules was talking about?
Yeah.
To work that all out?
Zarco to 6th as the flag goes out. And Rossi crosses the line in 5th. Lorenzo is quickest man.
This is going to be good.